You think there were any fucking sugar mamas at the march?
Ooh, at the Women's March?
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, I know there was one that was speaking on a lot of shit for a while.
Oh, man.
Madonna?
Yeah. She's got. I mean, she would be the ultimate sugar mama.
Is she dating anybody right now?
I don't know, but I'm gonna send her a message on MySpace.
She's probably fucking everybody. She's just a witch.
Yeah.
Look at her.
She sucks the soul out of people.
She's evil.
She got Guy Ritchie to make that stupid fucking movie about being lost at sea or whatever.
Guy Ritchie was a cool motherfucker too.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie. Yeah.
What did he do before that movie? He did a lot of. Didn't he do Snatch?
Snatch, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
He's got a lot of fucking films and.
I can name.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
that's all you need to name.
Yeah, right.
Go beyond
Rock and Rolla, Layer Cake. There's a bunch.
But that Women's March. Okay, we posted a meme on our Instagram. I forget the exact wording, but it was something like, trying to figure out exactly what rights American women don't have.
Yeah, with all the calculations.
With all the calculations, right? Yeah. And that's kind of the sentiment of people who don't really know what the fuck's going on. Like, I don't understand what they're fighting for. A friend of mine posted a picture that I'll tell you what they said in the comments, and we can talk about that. But a friend of mine posted a picture that said, what do we want? Fundamental human rights. When do we want them? 500 years ago. Okay, dummy, you live in the United States, you're middle fucking class. What fundamental human rights are you fucking talking about?
No, that's valid.
I mean, I'm not trying to degrade your thing, but like, what rights are you talking about? Now, in the comments, the only thing that was repeated over and over and over was the wage gap. They want equal pay, and they want abortion rights. Well, I mean, I don't know if we've gone into detail on the show, but the wage gap is a complete fucking myth. And no economist will back that shit up.
No, you can look it up. I mean, there's tons of studies that back that.
And they said there's a slight wage gap, but it's not anything like worth.
And not only is there a slight wage gap, it's only after the age of 30. Yeah. Women actually make more than men up until 30 when you compare apples to apples, and all that shit. And it's like, they were arguing about equal pay on there, but it's like 93% I think of all like work related deaths are men, because they're willing to take the dangerous fucking jobs.
They do labor.
Yeah, they do the hard labor.
Yeah.
And a lot of those labor jobs, like construction jobs, you can make a lot of fucking money, and that's part of this thing. Is like,
it's also because your back is blown out by the time you're fucking like 40. You can barely even fucking move.
So like if you're in a union, you're making like $45 an hour. Like you're killing it. That's good fucking money
for sure.
But anyway, if you Google wage gap myth, like you can find that. You can find all the actual stats.
Basically, the biggest flaw that they had is they took all the average income based on data that wasn't job specific.
Yeah, it was all men, all women, divide by the number.
Exactly.
And there you go. And it's complete bullshit.
Yeah, which if you've ever, just so I can give an example, I looked it up at like San Diego State, for example. It was engineering students, male to female. It was like 70% male to like 30% female. Now, granted, I was an English major, and it was mostly female. Yeah. Very few males. So when you think about the kind of jobs that you're going to get based on those degrees, now I don't know why there's more women in English and less in engineering. It's just the way that it is. But obviously that's going to lead to less pay as you go out into the world.
Oh, yeah. And the big thing will be like, I saw this too. The patriarchy, because it's the men that finally get the CEO positions. No, those guys, they forewent all that shit of like having kids and all that shit. And all they did was fucking grind. Now, you get that like privilege of having a kid. That's fucking awesome. But like that person, that male or female that makes it to that highest level in like corporate, they're working 80 fucking hours a week. They didn't take 7 years off to have a kid. Yeah. Now, I'm not blaming you. That's awesome. But like they didn't do that.
There's been women that have had kids and gone on to be CEOs.
For sure. So but those are outliers though, is my point.
But it's also the other fact that you have to think about is that the women in the workforce is still something fairly new on the grand scheme of things. Everything's always going to take a while to sort of progress. Like, women in the workforce being managers, that's like fairly recent when you think about everything. Like on
a long timeline.
Yeah, on a long timeline.
Insanely recent.
So on the macro level.
And there's very few CEOs who are going to be in like their 20s or 30s. Obviously, it's going to be people who have been working for 30, 40 years that are going to be in those positions, which means that women aren't going to, there's not as many women working to build up into those positions as CEO.
Right.
So that's why you're not going to have as many. If you look 40 years down the line, eventually it's probably going to even out to a certain
50,
extent.
50, pretty much,
having kids or not having kids, it'll probably be fairly equal.
Yeah. And they were saying, like, well, and that was part of it. And then the abortions rights stuff, like, I'm not pro-abortion, but, like, I'll do whatever the fuck you want. I get that, but, like, you're not making any argument by just going, this whole thing was just kind of goofy.
If they had been smart, what they would have done is obviously with having a Republican House and Senate and president.
They should let men run the march.
No.
They were fucking smart.
There's a meme in here.
Yeah.
If men had run the women's march, there's a meme for sure.
Their main focus should have been because, Trump has said that he would do away with, or he would like to punish women who have abortions legally. And obviously Pence is all super religious. So their one thing should have been, don't take away a woman's right to choose. Yeah. They should have just fucking...
Stuck with that
one single fucking, because like I was talking to these guys beforehand, like I would be out in the, if they were taking away abortion, I'd be the first dude out in the streets.
You and 10 million other dudes, because you realize, oh shit.
No,
wait, please. No, don't do that. No, wait,
Yeah.
whoa.
All of a sudden I have to start using condoms? Like what the fuck?
Boom.
Doesn't even count as sex. What the fuck?
By the way, did you guys see that video? The woman when Trump is getting, they're finally like, what is it called?
Inauguration?
Yeah, but when they're, finally being sworn in.
Swearing him in,
yeah, when he finally gets sworn in, they're like, you new president, Donald J. Trump or whatever. And this woman, she's got her arms up and she's like looking around for a second and she's fake crying. And then as soon as they say Donald J. Trump, she goes, no.
Did you see the video where Trump's looking at his wife and I don't know, no one knows what he says. Like the internet is going nuts over what he says, but she's smiling, like just standing there, and he looks at her and you see him mouth something and she just goes like this, like,
yeah, somebody made.
You have to watch it.
Somebody,
it's insane.
Somebody
it's
made him
fucking crazy.
Somebody made a meme of it, and she's like, "But I want to be at the women's march." Or whatever.
Yeah. It's like her face literally goes from she's glowing to like, oh, he's gonna beat the shit out of me later.
Holy shit! The funniest thing too about that women's march, how the media was covered it though, was like every year they have this pro-life march where it's like over 1 million people gather in fucking Washington D.C. and they act like it never happens.
Of course.
And the abortion thing, like half the country doesn't agree. So you can fucking yell and scream all you want, but like not everyone's on your team. You can't just say that's women's rights when half the country doesn't agree, and half those people of that half are women also. Like
I don't understand how men wanted to be pro-life or why men would be against.
Well, it's all religious and moral.
Well, yeah,
stuff.
of course.
I mean, if anything, we want to trace it back to one thing: it's religion. 100%.
I can guarantee you, if they knocked up their side chick, they would be the first to fucking ask for an abortion.
But there have been tons of political people in that position.
Oh, I sent a video to Scoop earlier. It was this pastor in where was it? Somewhere in the South.